1, 2. There we go. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Got me by the record booth. Yo. This right here. Yo. This right here. Move that. Thank you. Thank you for that. What up, party people in the place to be? Who we got here? My man Eon, my man Jordan, my man Nono, Mere Depth, Gorilla. What's the deal? Oh wait. Hold on. Let me do this shit right. Oh, I got it wrong. Right there. Let's start it off with the pleasantries. You know what I mean?
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Good evening.
There we go. Now we are all logged in and ready to go. Thank you, my man Gorilla Strong. Had a change, so let me explain the changes of scenery today. We got a new set coming in for Live from the Lab and Friday Vibes with Q, and it's under construction in my office. So I had to move into a different section of the pad and make sure that I do this live with you today. Plus, my in-ears took a shit, so I have to go old school with y'all as if I'm sending a Morse code to my secret agents. What is the deal? Yeah, so before I get into the announcements and all that, first I want to say that today's episode was thought up by none other than the homie Gorilla Strong. He sent me a DM, which everyone is able to do whenever you get a chance, and he gave me a good idea for today's show. We'll get into that in a little bit. A couple of announcements. This Friday, how far does that camera go? Let me turn this over a little bit. There we go. This Friday, the new Mother Fuzz, a new Mother Fuzz single is dropping this Friday, technically Thursday at midnight, Friday, and the Mother Fuzz train is still moving forward. Oh, we got new comments here. Thank you, Gorilla. What else we got? Jay Freedom in the house. What's the deal, son? You good? John Milburn, what's going on? Good to see you. What's up? Arkansas Cracker, what is the deal, my brother? Yes. I am very happy to see everyone. Okay, getting back into the announcements, just making sure I see everybody's. Mother Fuzz, yes, midnight on Thursday, brand new Mother Fuzz. We only got 2 more songs from the Mother Fuzz basket from the first batch, and then that album will be complete, and that album will be released as a full album, and then new songs will follow eventually after that. Also, new qunique Rhetmatic next Friday, the 27th. Make sure you mark your calendars for that. I'm very excited about that. Good to see you, John Milburn. Yes. Thank you, Studs. Like I said, brand new qunique Rhetmatic next Friday. This one's gonna have. Oh, thank you, Minnie. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so very much. Thank you, for those that showing support. Thank you so very much through the super chat, super stickers, and all of that. Thank you, UK in the house, my man, Mini Hip. What is it, Mini Hiptic? Sorry, there you go, Mini Hiptic. Salute to you. Thank you. Yes, love from the UK. I love the UK. Much love to you. I can't wait to get back out there and do some shows. Hopefully, we'll get all of the show announcements coming soon. We got one show announcement that I keep on bringing up, which is in Denver, Colorado, May 23rd. So if you're out in Denver, Colorado, come rock. I'm very happy about that show. So going back, thank you, Minnie. Going back to the announcements, today we got a verse. I can't say who it is, but for the qunique Rhetmatic album, we got a verse from one of the greatest rappers of all time on the planet. and you have no idea how excited I am. I can't announce it yet, but you will know soon enough. There's going to be 2 more releases. So the Friday of the 27th, that'll be release number 1, and then there'll be 1 more release after that, and then we'll get to the release with said MC that I just mentioned. It's just like me and Rhett were talking today, and once we got all the stems and everything, we were like, holy shit. Like, it was like just one of those moments where it was like, I can't, like, it just feels surreal. And I also got to give a shout to my brother, my Arsonist brother, Swell, who actually put the idea in my head to reach out to this MC, and it all worked out. Somebody that I've known for a very long time, but also revered, respected highly. Matter of fact, the entire hip-hop community. Thank you, Mini Hiptic. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. I'm sure everyone will agree once they find out who I'm talking about. Thank you, Mini Hiptic. I truly appreciate the listening so very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. As I came on, I saw some of the comments. Somebody was quoting 133rd Psalm. That means a lot to me. I know my man Arkansas was quoting green grass. So everybody, thank you. Ultimately, the listens are something that just mean so much to me because we put so much work into the music. So you know the deal. Thank you, Gorilla. Thank you. So yeah, man. So I can't really announce, but next Friday is another feature from a great MC that will be joining me on the next track next Friday. So stay tuned for that. But it's not the MC I'm referring to, but the MC that has collaborated with me for next Friday is also an incredible MC and somebody I was excited to work with. But you'll find out soon enough as we get closer. And obviously, as I put up the pre-save links, you'll definitely know because his name will be on it for that one. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for the new Mother Fuzz. I'm very excited. I haven't been doing much Mother Fuzz stuff on Instagram. I've been pushing more on YouTube. It's just been getting a different kind of dare I say, a better result. More strangers are listening because I feel like when you post on Instagram, you're kind of like posting to whoever's following and you're kind of being redundant. I could be wrong, but it just feels that way. And so I'm still going to use IG for, the new song and all of that, but I've been pushing a lot more heavier on YouTube. But for those that don't know what I'm talking about, Mother Fuzz is the latest rock project that I've been working on. For those that know, I've been involved with Stillwell and Rodimus. Stillwell, you see the Stillwell drum head right there. Rodimus, King's Bounty, which is also Soul Gun, and now Mother Fuzz currently. So stay tuned for that. Edwin, what is the deal, son? Good to see you. Good to see you. There is, you know what? I'll get to you in a second, Arkansas, but there is a new L.A. Flaco and qunique song coming out. I just handed him a verse. I don't know. Did I say that? Are you a mind reader, Edwin? Tell me the truth. Or do you know Flaco? But I did do a verse for Flaco, and I was excited about it because it's been so long. And Flaco's another one that I highly respect. To me, he's one of the best MCs on the planet as well. And not only that, but as an MC from Spain, his flow, like, you just got to go and give him a listen. He's really dope. From out of Madrid, very dope and very good dude. So, okay, there you go, Edwin. Thank you. Yeah, Manos Sucios was done a while ago. Yep. That was done in like 2005, 2006, I think. So crazy, man. Also for later on today, look what I got for later on today. And I'm stacking doubles. So we might have some sort of thing where either you purchase something from qunique.com and you get a complete set of the YoMTV rap cards, like from 1 to 100, or we'll figure something out. But I'm stacking a few doubles, so keep an eye out for that. I'll let you guys know. Two MC Hammers. Yeah, that was good, man. Okay, so we're gonna get, there we go. Thank you, Stutters. I just heard that pop up. So we're gonna get in today's subject. My man Gorilla Strong sent me a DM. Last time Bananas gave me the idea. This week, Gorilla Strong. And this week we're gonna talk about some of the things, some of the tracks that I produced in my career through the years. Some of them are obvious, Arsonists, myself, and some of them you probably didn't even know I did. And plus, I'm going to be playing, Stutters, if you could come to the area real quick. I need the plug that goes from out here into back here. There's a plug, I threw it somewhere. Damn it. You know which plug I'm talking about, right? Where did I put it? Is it under that blanket over there? You gotta understand, man, my pad is a mess. The new setup for Live from the Lab made a kaboom in my pad. There we go. Yes. You can't fit both? No? There's no... Yeah, there it goes right in there. Okay, I guess that's cool. Hopefully it doesn't mess it up, but we'll give it a shot. All right, we got that set up. So I'm also gonna play some songs from an album that I did. It was like, what I was doing at the time was I was highlighting different MCs from different parts of the US that I didn't even know. And it was basically, at the time, I was like, yo, get at me. I'm putting together this free download album. And, a few MCs got at me. I'm gonna play 5 tracks, and then I'll have a link for you if you're interested in downloading this album. It'll be available. My man Gorilla, man. Yo, my man Gorilla, you get one of these. That's one of the best clips to ever exist. Okay. So, Arkansas, my man, yo, have a dope night, and I'll talk to you soon, brother. Okay, so let's get into so the first thing that I want to show is Mir Dep. So the first thing I want to show, let me put this down. The first thing I want to show is, before I worked with an MPC, the first sampler I've ever bought was this sampler right here, and it is called what? This is called a Roland DJ-70. It was a weird purchase at the time, and for some reason I skipped past the ASR-10 and the MPC and bought this. And I think the reason at the time that I bought it was because I was into the scratch pad. See that circle right there? It wasn't like super accurate like Serato, but it was like you could scratch your samples. And it didn't have a quantize. It didn't put things on beat. You had to kind of like play by ear and loop by ear. It was really, it was a struggle to work with this thing, but it was cool at the same time. And then shortly after that, I ended up going, if you ever seen, I have this short that I speak about where after I bought that, during that time, I had just started working at Fat Beats. And so I was kind of like peeping game and watching different DJs, how they moved, how they made their money and what they were doing. And so the whole idea of selling mixtapes to make some cash, aside from what I was getting paid from Fat Beats, dawned on me in order for me to buy a proper sampler. My aim was to get the MPC. So I made a few mixtapes, Beats for the Breakers, Underneath It All, Part 1 and Part 2, Beats for the MCs, which I think I did like 7 of those, a few others, and selling them out of Fat Beats. Like the classic story. Everybody always, a lot of hip hop heads will tell you, or rockers will tell you, we sold our album out of our trunk in order to get what we got. And so I was part of that community. And so I sold a bunch of mixtapes. The ones that did the best were the Beats for the MCs. Definitely Beats for the Breakers was probably my bestseller, and Underneath It All, which was a mixtape that I was doing of underground, all of us, like Arsonists and Nonfiction and, Company Flow and the Juggernauts and so on and so forth. So I sold enough to buy my first MPC. I bought it 3,000, then it became discontinued. I traded in, I think I either traded it in or had it gutted at this place, and they replaced it with 2,000 XL interior. And then I just went to work and during that era, just started producing a lot, which a lot of it at the time went for the Arsonist albums. So that being said, let's get to the stack that I have here. 1, 2, come on, son. Boom, boom, boom. No. There we go. Okay. So the first one I'm gonna pick up here is the obvious. The Arsonists As the World Burns album. This is the album that really, like, all of us were just pushing, like, on all 4 cylinders. And I was we were all heavy at work. I'm not gonna take away anything from anyone. So the songs that I personally produced on here, Pyromaniacs, Rhyme Time Travel, Seed, Underground Vandal, Blaze, Venom, Part of Frenemies, Lieutenant Worf and Chewbacca, Lunchroom Takeout, and part of Gimbo's theme on this album here. That was all done with the MPC. Thank you, No. That's dope. That's dope, Edwin. That's really dope. Oh, that's all good, Jordan. Thank you, CC Sniper. What's going on, man? Welcome. So, trying to give you some backstory. So, Rhyme Time Travel. Let me go to Rhyme Time Travel since the homie CP Sniper brought it up. So, Rhyme Time Travel has a unique story behind it. No pun intended. Rhyme Time Travel. Initially, when I made that song I didn't primarily write for the Arsonist album. I was doing an off-Broadway play with the Rocksteady crew and the rhythm technicians. And to make a long story short, I felt like I was in a weird situation because what I would do is I would watch the audience whenever I was on the side of the stage and watch how they responded, because all the breakers and the poppers and the lockers, all the dancers had, these amazing choreographed set pieces for Broadway, and they had the costumes and the whole thing was just beautiful. And then I would get on and rhyme in between. And it dawned on me, I needed to come up with something that would help my situation, because when you're just standing out there holding a mic, I don't care if you're walking back and forth like a caged lion, it doesn't matter. Going up against 20 dancers with set designs and costumes, it's tough competition. So as I was watching their set at night after night and going in between, it dawned on me, let me do this thing where I just go through the different eras of rap. And that's how the song initially came to life. And then I took the ideas, threw it in the MPC, chopped everything up, and then put it as my solo song on the Arsonists album. That's how that song was birthed. It wasn't even, it's crazy how that song wasn't initially meant for any album, and then it just ended up there. So that's how that worked. Still sipping, what's going on? I'm good, man. I'm actually in LA myself, so that's good, man. Yeah, it's beautiful out here, man. I can't. All right, let me just see. I'm making sure where y'all are at. There y'all go. Okay, Bananas, what's the deal? Aside from that, the only other song that has a unique, well, no, not really. So Blaze, what's fascinating about Blaze is that when I produced that song, what's crazy is I was kind of like, wasn't sure about the song. And I wasn't sure until Freestyle showed up to the studio, because at that time, I had a studio in Brooklyn, and that became the headquarters for the Arsonists. So when Freestyle showed up and he heard the beat, he was like, yo, this shit is killer, and he just went to work. And as soon as he co-signed it, I knew we were good. And also with Underground Vandal, Freestyle again, he went to work on that track. He made me very excited about that song. And the rest were just basically me just going to work on the MPC and just getting together with the rest of the Arsonists and getting this album done. The only other song that I can remember that has like an odd or fascinating backstory was Pyromaniacs. So Pyromaniacs, what's crazy about that is initially when I put that beat together, it was a different one. And you can hear the original one. If you go and listen, if you go into the Arsonist album, Lost in the Fire, the original version is on that. So Lost in the Fire album is like, it came years after we were finished, and it kind of like we packaged all of the demos that didn't come out and versions that didn't come out, and the original Pyromaniacs is on there. The reason why I changed it for the album was because we got a threatening letter from the record company that I sampled from. They sent a letter to our record company at the time, which was Matador, and they pretty much said, if you guys put out this song, we will make an example out of you, which was pretty harsh, but whatever. I changed it. It became what it became, and we moved forward, and the Arsonist album is one of those loved albums, man. Thank you, CC. Thank you, Bananas. Did you ever have a verse you ever did? You know what, Bananas? I'm sure I've done that. There's been time, you know, it got to the point where I was doing that. I have a funny story. Let me put this down. We finished with the first album. That's a good question. What's crazy is I got to the point where I was, especially during the Stillwell days, I would freestyle verses, whether singing or rapping, and do it right on the. So if I came up with a subject, I would just think of the lines and just spit them into the mic. I got to that point. I don't write much anymore. It's more like I think it and then spit it. And Fieldy kind of caught on, and it got kind of to the point where he was like trying to push me to do that all the time, which I was like, yo, I want to kind of map this shit out, man. So give me some space. Machiavelli, what's up, baby? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. We're gonna get to that, Edward. We're gonna get to that. No, you know, Flashback, we got that approved straight from Rage Against the Machine. They were listening to the Arsonists, and Zach De La Rocha actually spoke about us in Rolling Stone magazine. We had that kind of like distant relationship with them. And so they okayed us sampling it. But anyway, the next album for the Arsonists is Date of Birth, right? There's the ring light, fucking up the plastic. Date of Birth. Now with this album, I really went to work. I produced 98% of this album. The intro, Stay Low, We Be About, What You Want, Language Arts, Respect the Unexpected. His Hate, Her Love, Burn It Out, Whatever, Whenever, Bleep, Wordplay, Epitaph, Space Junk, and Millionaire. I produced all of those tracks for this album. The highlight, the one song that has really like made its mark for me is with a man who mentioned it, Edwin. Language Arts is one of those songs like Green Grass that just like it did well for me. You know, it was one of those songs that it went through a lot of changes as I was producing it. Like the original version doesn't sound anywhere close to what you guys have heard. The original version is pretty, it wasn't good enough. And I knew it. That's why I held it back, because the concept of Language Arts I was working on for a while. And it was one of those things where I just couldn't get the beat right. And finally, when we got close to Date of Birth, got the beat right. And so the song just happened. And it was just like, it was just magic. You know, it was one of those things. And it's crazy because it's the most streamed Arsonist song. It's one of my top streaming songs as qunique. So it's one of those magical moments that I didn't even expect. It's such a strange phenomenon because there was a point I wasn't even, like when I would go on tour, I wouldn't even perform that song that much. And now when I look at it and the life that it has had up until now, it's like, oh, okay, this song is loved. And so now, like for instance, when I go out to Denver this year and the rest of the shows that I'll be doing, I will be performing that song along with a lot of others that I haven't performed. So stay tuned for that. I don't have an opinion yet, Edwin. I have to sit and like marinate on what she's doing. I can't speak on it yet. I haven't had a chance to really like sit there and analyze what it is that she's doing. But thank you for bringing that up. The rap you with so what happened to the rappers on College Underground? The best way for me to answer a question like that, it's one of those things where the game, this industry could potentially take away your desire to want to do anything or life be lifing. So it's like, it's one of those things, I can't answer that because there's so many different and specific cases per individual, but the overall synopsis for me is that sometimes this industry will just beat the shit out of you and you just don't want to move forward. You know, no matter how fun it is to write a rhyme or make a beat, when you go out there and you try to pitch your song, depending on if they're getting hate or if they're not just getting any love at all or whatever the case may be, who knows, man? That's a good question, but it's a tough question to answer. So Date of Birth, we got that. Yeah, I already pointed it out. I'm trying to think if there was any fascinating. I think the only thing about Date of Birth to me that is tough. Oh, it's all good. It's all good. Thank you, Rap. Is that obviously losing a couple of members of the Arsonists, kind of like when you look back at this album, you kind of like think of the coulda, woulda, shoulda-haves and what could have been and blah, blah, blah. But it is what it is. There's nothing I could do with that kind of talk, but that's the only thing that you kind of look at this album and be like, I wonder. But it is what it is. I think the album still turned out well. And I think Jice and Swell really, stepped up to the plate and went to work, And that's that. That's this album. There's plenty to go through, so if I speed through this part of me. Now, there's a third Arsonist vinyl, plus I mentioned that with the Arsonists, we have a third album called Lost in the Fire. This was the vinyl pressing of Lost in the Fire. I don't even know if these are available anymore. This was on Chopped Herring Records, which is a UK-based label, one of the best underground labels. I got a lot of love for this label because what they do is just so fascinating and so beautiful because he scours the planet for those 90s boom bap type MCs and just works out situations where he could put out lost demos and lost collections. And he got at me for this and for the Nomads collection as well. So it's like, it's one of those things, man. The songs that I produced on here, Rough Times, Universal Skills, Skilleth, and I don't remember what's on the rest of the album, but that's this album. The one that stands out on here is Skilleth because Skilleth is such a fascinating. What I did was I had this breakbeat, and that's when I was like very experimental with the beats. You could tell by some of the Arsonist production, whether it's me or or when I would collaborate with either Destroy or Freestyle on a beat. Skilleth was unique because, and I think I started that one on the Roland DJ 70, I think, where I would hold the key down and the loop would go, and then I would hold a lower octave key and it would slow down the beat, but on beat with the regular octave. And so Skilleth has a very unique pattern to it if you ever get a chance to check it out. And then I think Destroy's verse set the tone of how far we went with our, spitting on that track. This is a good collection to have. I don't know if you could find this album anymore, but you could definitely stream it on any platform. It's called Lost in the Fire. It has a lot of unreleased stuff that could have been on As the World Burns and In Between and all of that. And it has a lot of stuff that we said was new, but it was just a lot more newer than the demos that didn't get released, which feature Vinny Paz, Ill Bill, J Live is on there, High and Mighty, Mass Influence. It's a lot. It's a little cool little collection if you're an Arsonist fan. So check that out. Back into my Arsonist bag. That's good, Edwin. You got it. Thank you, Bananas. Freestyle and Destroy. Okay, we're gonna keep it going. So in my Arsonist bag, during Date of Birth, I had a beautiful opportunity. I was flown out to Paris, France, and met this very incredible MC crew called Science Super Crew. They, to me, were like a parallel universe of the Arsonists. Like a big group. I think it was about 5 or 7 of them. Everyone had incredible flow. Obviously, I didn't understand what they were saying because they were rapping in French, but if you give it a listen, their production was just ridiculously good, on top of the fact that their flow patterns to my ear were just insane. And the song that where is it? I'm trying to remember the name of the song. So I produced a song on here called Other Side of the Rock. The way it went down was the song is about them being on France and talking about shit that's going on in the streets, because if you know about Paris, it's got some hood, real shit going on. And we were speaking about Brooklyn on our side, myself, Jice, and Swell. And I remember when I first played the beat, it was one of those things that we flew out there to work with them, and we got on one of their beats. I think the name of that track is UFO. And I brought my MPC with me. And so I think that's the way, this is around 2001, 2002. And I played the beat and they went crazy and they wanted it instantly. So we went to their studio, which was an amazing studio, and there's a video for this. Shit. You just gotta type in Science Super Crew, Arsonists, My Side of the Rock. It's just a behind the scenes where they synced up to the track. It's just really cool to watch the early days, and it was an amazing experience. And they took us to their Grammy party. The French which was the equivalent of the American Grammys. They won a Grammy while we were out there, and we were invited to go to the party. It was an amazing thing. So shout out to the Science Super Crew for sure. Where we at? Where we at? Yes, yes, yes. Yes, no, it is rugged. It is rugged. Another album when it comes to the Arsonists, this is probably another tough one to find. It's called Matador 10. You could see it's like kind of engraved and embossed in body. I don't, what's the word? You could feel it. Anyway, it says Matador 10. This is their 10-year anniversary album. And the Arsonists, Universal Skills, which I produced, is on here. Myself, Swell, and Destroy, I think, are the only MCs on that track, I think. But it's a cool track nonetheless. If you never heard it, it might be on the Lost in the Fire album. I got to check the playlist on that. But it's called Universal Skills by the Arsonists on the Matador 10 album, and it should also be on the Lost in the Fire album as well. Am I still in the Arsonist bag here? Looks like it. Let's see. No. Okay. All right. Let's keep it going here. Another one. This is a rare joint right here, and this is this is like not too crazy. Yes. Edwin. He never been on a track. He's been on. He speaks on the As the World Burns album right before Flashback. He speaks. Yes, thank you, Jordan, for the assist. I appreciate that. Thank you, Edwin. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, so this next one is a fascinating one. So this one is called what did he call this? Breaking Rules. And Ill Style. This is a b-boy named Forrest Get 'em Gump from out of Ohio. He lived in New York for some time, one of my homies. And what I did on this was, if you know the song Rhyme Time Travel, the middle beat, which was 1988, which I call the Force of One, I took that beat and gave it to Forrest, and he put it on this vinyl. If you ever get a chance to find this is another very rare release, probably not that easy to find, very limited. Ill Style Records, Breaking Rules, and my track. But it's all it is an instrument, like just an instrumental clip of the middle track of Rhyme Time Travel, which was the 1988 track. So it's on this vinyl. I just wanted to show y'all that because it's cool that it's separate on a different vinyl that is super rare. So I just wanted to show that. Okay. Let's get this one right here. Okay, another dope one. Where we at? I did spit, Bananas, I did spit with Capadonna. The name of the song is Verrazano Villains. Streaming everywhere. qunique and Capadonna. And the band Taking Back Sunday, the lead singer sings on the chorus. The bass player plays bass, of course, and the drummer did the drum program. It's a hip-hop track, though. It's not a rock track. Straight hip-hop. Me and Capadonna, so check it out. I love that track. It's a pretty cool track. So here's another one that I produced on. It's the Rocksteady Crew single that came out in the late 90s. The RSCMCs, myself, and Street Sweeper. And the track that I produced for this is called The Boogie Down Bronx. I guess it's called the remix. Wait, let me make sure. Yes. I'm trying to get where I am right now. DJ Raffler. Okay, I am the remix of the Boogie Down Bronx. I produced the remix on this. I don't know how easy it is to find this vinyl, but it's called the RSCMC's Rocksteady Crew, big orange thing with the logo on it. And I produced the Boogie Down Bronx remix right there. Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate that. Thank you. But that's that track right there. Oh, thank you, Stutters. So this is the joint that I did with Capadonna. This is the Verrazano Villains vinyl. Obviously, it's a 45. They got me and Capadonna looking like superheroes with the rest. DJ Eclipse is also on this. You see him over there. There's the lead singer of Taking Back Sunday and the bass player. We're in the water between Brooklyn and Staten Island. So I don't know where you can find this right now, but that did happen. There you go. All right, let's keep it going with the production. I'm gonna trip y'all out. I'm gonna skip out of hip hop for a quick second. Let me get this out of here like that. So another album that I produced is the Stillwell Supernatural Miracle album. This one, this is where I gotta give a lot of props to Fieldy and Wov. They were super encouraging when it came to this. This would be the first time that I would kind of like show the world my very basic guitar playing at the time and my songwriting capabilities and production and song structure, and I had a lot of fun doing. This is my favorite Stillwell album that I worked on, and it was just one of those things where myself and Fieldy and Wub just got together and they gave me a lot of space to explore, and the result was this album. And regardless of what, I'm very proud of this because I was able to like go from hip hop to this and do something that I'm pretty proud of. So the Stillwell and I also produced the album after it. But this is which is Rock the House, which is also a solid album. But this is my favorite, and I had a lot of fun doing this. Obviously, my guitar playing has stepped up in incrementally fractions, but I'm still going at it. Stillwell Supernatural Miracle. Joe Sykes, what's the deal? So the first time Fieldy played guitar was way back in the days when he was in LAPD and all of that stuff. He would switch and do different jobs. Obviously bass playing but he's always been a guitar player. His first instrument was a guitar. He just obviously stepped into the bass, and that's where he became who he became. Fieldy played guitar for the first two Stillwell albums, which is Dirtbag and Raise It Up. And then after that, I played guitar for the next two albums. And so that's the story there. Yes, we're gonna get to that, Edwin. We're gonna get to that. Thank you, Nono, I appreciate that. Ooh, thank you, CC Sniper. Thank you for that, thank you. I appreciate that. Q, I'd love to know some of the history behind your legacy. Oh, CC, so that's coming up in the next, not in the next, but in maybe the next or a future episode, because technically that was gonna, it's funny that you brought that up, because technically that was gonna be today's episode, but Gorilla got at me and just gave me this idea, so I wanted to do this. So Edwin, we're gonna get to that in a second. All right. While we're on the subject of stepping out of my thing, I also produced on this new album that just came out a couple of months ago. This is Sonny from the band POD, the lead singer from POD. For those that don't know who POD are, very big band. Here comes the boom. I feel so alive. All of those songs. We are youth of a nation. Those songs, this band. So that's the lead singer right there. I produced the song How to Spit Fire and Talk to God. I produced both of those songs. Not only did I produce both of the songs, I mixed both songs as well. And so Sonny, again, gave me the opportunity to, and I was honored to be able to be a part of his first solo album and you know, put in the kind of work that he encouraged. I mean, it's surreal, and the songs came out great if you haven't heard them. So if you get a chance, check out this album, Sunny Dread. Songs came out really, really cool. And special super shout out to Sunny for trusting me to be a part of his first solo album, man. It means a lot to me. So if you get a chance, check out these songs. Look, a lot of these songs, obviously, I can't play. I'm gonna play some songs in a little bit, but a lot of these songs I can't play because of copyrights and all of that. But, you know, I'll probably do my best to put together a playlist. Yes, Edwin. Actually, Ill Bill, you know what's crazy, Edwin, was that there was a point where myself and Ill Bill were working on beats together. We became a production team, and we made a crazy amount of beats, and then they just stood on discs, and nobody ever heard them. And then, you know, it's just, and it wasn't even because of anything. It's just life and schedules and where you're going. He's going that way, I'm going this way, and whatever have you. Ill Bill has always been a dope producer. I don't know when he started. I don't think he started when you think. But he's always been good at it. Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Okay, let's get back into this. This next one, another one I'm just very proud of, going back into hip hop. Some of the beats that I produced for this album, The Mechanic, my 1, 2, 3. This is my 4th solo album. Yes, it's my 4th solo album. And the tracks that I produced on here, Look Up in the Sky, what the hell? That's it? That's it, man. I thought I was gonna read off a mega list. Oh man, thank you, Edwin. I appreciate that. Thank you. So, funny enough, I only produced one song on here. I'm looking at all the, so I only, and it was because at the time I was doing so much Stillwell work that I wasn't really in front of the MPC that much. So the only song that I went for on this was Look Up in the Sky. But then, slightly after that, well, no, not slightly, a little bit after that, I produced the entire qunique Pound for Pound album. So that's the one where it's a whole blue cover and it's a drawing of me and I have a champion belt. If you haven't heard, I produced every track on that album, and Fieldy from Korn played bass on every album, and Wub from POD played drums on that album. So every song on that album, let me see if I could, let me get on here for a second because I don't want to mess up the titles on y'all, you know what I mean? So let me get over here, dismiss, there you go. So if you go to the Pound for Pound album, I produced everything on there. Thank You, I Believe It's Getting Better, Torch Them All, Free, Danger Room, Blackout, and Knievel Reeves. I personally think the standout track is Torch Them All. It's one of my favorite tracks to perform. I shot a video in Marina Del Rey, California. I don't even know if that's ever been done, where a hip hop video is shot in Marina Del Rey. And to me, the unique, hold on, because I just heard the echoes pop up. Damn it! What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, I see. Sometimes the settings on this kind of like goes to lunch. Anyway. Okay, so the standout track from Pound to Pound is Torch Them All. That one really did well. And another favorite of mine is Danger Room. I love this whole album, and I think what was dope about doing Pound for Pound was that Fieldy asked. So Fieldy has known me since 2006, and he's seen me drop albums and all of that. And this was the first time when I started working on this album that he asked. He was like, "Yo, let me play bass on this album," and it blew my mind. not be, he's obviously a very close friend of mine. It wasn't on some celebrity shit. It was just more like, I didn't expect it. And then Wuv joined in and he played drums on the Thank You track. And so that's what made doing Pound for Pound a lot of fun, was that my brothers joined in with their instruments and just took part in what was happening, and they understood, that there were rules when it came to producing boom bap and all of that, and it just came out really dope. Like, for instance, when we did Thank You with Wuv, he didn't play on a drum set, he played on E-drums, a Roland kit, and so I was able to, MIDI him and replace sounds. It's still him playing, but I was able to put the drum sounds that I wanted the way he was playing. It came out really cool. So if you get a chance, check out Pound for Pound. I produced the entire album on that one. No, exactly. I am the first, and I've done a couple of them out here. I've been to downtown LA too. If you see some of my shorts and reels, I've been filming a lot of stuff in downtown LA because to me it's beautiful. The artwork that, I don't know a lot of the graph heads from LA, but the artwork is just outstanding down in downtown LA. So I go there a lot to do a lot of my shorts and reels for when I post. Now, we got to talk about this. We've talked about this quite a few times, but Vengeance Is Mine and what I'd done on this album. This was like straight after the Arsonists. I knew I had to produce some of the tracks. Obviously, I'm joined by some of the greatest producers like Necro and Juju from the Beatnuts and Complex from out in Europe and a bunch of others. But so the tracks that I produced on here, The Resume, Better You Than Me, Fashion Victims, Stone Cold, and This Thing of Ours. And what an exciting, I was excited because not only was I producing tracks and for my solo album, and Ill Bill was the executive producer. Not only was he the executive, and I've told this story plenty of times, so I won't take up too much time on the behind the scenes on this, but he was also like a Rick Rubin. Like, he sat in on every session along with Uncle Howie himself. And to be able to produce for my first solo album with beats that I loved and were holding on to and just cranking them out was an exciting time. And I still perform The Resume. I still perform Diamond in the Rough, This Thing of Ours. So those three off the bat of beats that I produced is just, it's exciting. And use the MPC and, the rest is history. Yes, definitely. Thank you, Gorilla Strong. I appreciate you for that, man. Thank you so very much. So that's the Vengeance Is Mine joint. Can't they? Thank you, Gorilla. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you, Edwin. We appreciate that. Okay, so we got that one. Now let's get to some other stuff. Now, I just put up the reel for this a couple of days ago. It's an older reel, but I have to bring this back out because it's one of my proudest moments. And I'm talking about producing on the Book of Shabazz the Disciple, the first verse in Diary of a Madman from Gravediggers, Shabazz the Disciple, one of the illest MCs I've ever come across. I produced a track on there called Thieves in the Night. And if you haven't heard, there's a remix version and then there's the version that I did. The version that I did, even for myself, I still listen to it. And it's not even because of my work. It's because of Shabazz. Shabazz just went berserk. And it's not even just what he wrote. It's how he put it down. So if you get a chance to check that out, it's called Thieves in the Night by Shabazz the Disciple, and it also features Killer Priest and Lil Dap from the group Home. So imagine, I was in the studio doing this with Lil Dap, Killer Priest, and Shabazz, And it was just a magical evening for me. A real, like real studio, nobody's home studio, reel to reel, all of that. This is in the 90s. So it's like, it was an exciting time, and we were all rooting for Shabazz. We all loved Shabazz, and for him to tap me on the shoulder and be like, yo, I need a qunique beat, because at that time, Arsonists and everything. So it's like, it was just one of those moments where I was just super excited to be a part of this. So Shabazz the Disciple, Thieves in the Night, produced by qunique. Make sure you get a chance to check that out as well. I know I'm giving y'all a crazy shopping list. I'm gonna have to make a playlist about this stuff. So thank you, Jordan. Yes, please like and subscribe. Please, we do live from the lab every Wednesday, and then on Fridays we do Friday Vibes with Q. So make sure you tune in and like and subscribe. Thank you, Jordan, for the assist. Also, thank you for your support with the super chats, the super stickers, and the super gifts. And if you want to show any more support, hit up qunique.com. If you, well, let me go over here. Where are we? Here we go. Boom. If you go to the shop, obviously we got all the merch. We got the tag, the qunique tag shirt. We got the CDs, Vengeance is Mine, the posters, Mechanic CD, the Vengeance is Mine, commemorative coin, all of that stuff. Any of these orders right here on top will get you, free stickers, some Yo MTV rap cards, all of that good stuff. And then if you search further, there's others. There's the designer rhyme shirts collection, which is all my lyrics in the shapes of the designs of the songs on the shirts. And then there's qunique shirts on Amazon.com as well. And then on the homepage, we'll give you all the announcements, which start off with the latest release of myself and DJ Rhapmatic from our album that's coming out later on this year, Cypher Up, streaming everywhere. You could also watch the video of Cypher Up and all of that good stuff. So when you get a chance, definitely check out qunique.com, and thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. No doubt. No doubt. No doubt, Gorilla. Okay, let's keep the train on the track. Another thing, and I know y'all have been bringing this up, I'm gonna bring it up. So another track that I produced that has been brought up a couple of times today is La Coka Nostra, brand You Could Trust album, and I produced the song Nuclear Medicine Men. Again, a magical moment. I happen to be, and it is weird how sometimes the planets align. I happened to be in LA. I was working on Stillwell, and Ill Bill and Slain ended up in LA, and they were working at DJ Lethal's studio while I was working at Fieldy's studio on Stillwell. And Ill Bill and Slain, I had an off night. We weren't doing anything, and they invited me to the studio. I rolled up, and Everlast was there. I think Sick Jack was there. Ill Bill, Slain, Lethal, Immortal Technique showed up. I forgot who else was there. And it was Slain that was like, y'all know qunique got beats. Went into my pocket, shot the beat over to Lethal. He threw it up in the Pro Tools. And then they invited me to get on the track. And then Immortal Technique got on the track. And it was, again, these are my friends, but it's still surreal. Like, I never walk into a room thinking like, oh, this is a sure thing. It's like, I'm usually in the cut, just chilling and observing and seeing where this night is gonna go. And so for my friends to be like, yo, Q, give us a beat, and then everybody's like, Everlast is there coming up with his rhymes, and Ill Bill and Slain and Immortal Technique and myself to be invited. It was just a dope thing, man. And I've been on almost every La Coka Nostra album since, not as a producer, but as a guest feature. But to be on this album means everything, because this is the album that starts the adventure. So to have my production and my verse on it, it means the world, man. So shout out to La Coka for that, man. That was really, really dope. Yeah. Thank you, CC. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Okay, next one. So this next one, and let me get the the track sheet on this. I know none of y'all are probably gonna remember what I'm saying, so you're gonna have to just look up these albums after I'm done. Every time I type his name, another name comes up. Give me a second here. All right, there we go. I know I have to have these things prepared. That's not his page. That's not his page. There it is. Okay, so here's the next album I want to talk about. So I produced also on this album. This is The Passion and the Jice. This is my brother from the Arsonists, Jice. When he asked me to produce on his album, I had no idea that it was going to be me producing half of the album, me engineering and mixing. It was just an amazing experience. You know what? I don't remember all the songs I produced. I know I produced Daddy's Little Girl, Mr. Sunshine. I think I had produced The Blood of Jice, Light of Day, Hope for the Future, I think, which is one of my favorites. And, you know, when you're working with one of your crewmates or bandmates on their solo album, it's fun. It was a lot of fun for me, man, because I didn't have to worry so much. I don't even think I rapped on this album. I just produced. And it's a lot of fun because I get to see what they're gonna do on my production. And it was just amazing because Jice is somebody that I love when he rhymes, because he's like a walking thesaurus. He never says he's not gonna say the shit that I'm gonna say. He's gonna go way out and reach for a vocabulary list that I'm half the time I'm like, what do you mean? You know, or I have to decipher it. But he means almost the same shit that I would mean if I'm just saying it in my own plain English. And so I love working with Jice because of that. And what he did on this album, what he did on my tracks is just beautiful. I love what he did. And I think Hope for the Future is like what I said about Shabazz. Hope for the Future is the one that I listen to a lot. And maybe Light of Day. I love what he did on those songs. They're fun to listen to. So if you get a chance, check out The Passion of Jice. It's a good album, man. Oh, no doubt, Gorilla Strong. Oh, yeah, Edward, that's when we were in France. We were live on this big French TV show. It was nuts. Oh, good, Jordan. Where you at? Where you at? What you saying, son? Yes, he did. Everlast just did. He did a joint where Yellow Wolf produced. Yes, yes. Okay, next. Where are we at? Oh, we're getting closer. So also another track that I produced, and now I gotta go back to my phone because I never remember where it's at. And I've spoken about this track before. I've actually done a whole short and reel on this track, but I still gotta bring it up because we're talking about my production. And that is, and I believe it's on this album right here. No, not that album. This album. Okay. So and somebody brought it up earlier, on the Legacy Series Volume 2, there's a song with Raekwon called Cup of Tea. I produced that track. And on that track, what's fascinating, to go through the story quickly, is that Raekwon, I was asked to go to my homie's studio, my homie Vinny Ponte, and he was hanging out with Wu-Tang a lot during that time. And he was like, yo, Ray's looking for beats. And I went over to the studio, Raekwon. He picked that beat. I played a bunch of beats. Maybe some of them ended up on Jice's album or my album or La Coka's album or whatever. But he picked the beat that you hear. And then I had to engineer the session with Raekwon on the mic, me at the board. It was just, talk about surreal. And I left that story for last because it was just, that was like strange. I know doing Stillwell for the first time with Fieldy and Love was strange. Equally working with Raekwon, being in the studio, there he is, getting on the mic. Here I am, pressing record while he spits. The whole thing was surreal. And for Ray to be as humble, to call Vinny and say, yo, tell Q he can have that and he could put a verse on it, just, it meant the world. And you know, it's one of those I'm not worthy moments, man. It's Raekwon and just an amazing situation. So that's to deal with that, man. Okay, so now we're going to get into this, and I hope this works out. Stutters, I think we're in track 1. No, we're in track 2. So now I'm going to get into playing some of these songs that I have that I did this album. Hold up. I did this album. It's called The Showcase. That's what it's called, The Showcase. And what I did was, this was around, man, maybe during the Black Coffee Day, maybe a little bit before the Black Coffee Days. And it's going to be a bunch of MCs you probably never heard of. I'm not sure. And I'm not sure where any of these MCs, maybe 1 or 2 I still see, but a lot of them I don't know where they're at. And I just want to play some of these songs for y'all to check out. These are beats that I made. And if you're interested, I'll shoot a download. I'll put a download link in the description later, and you can come back and look for it. So let's get, what track are we in? We're in track 2. So we're going to get into the first track. The first track is called You're the Best. And the name of the MC is Red Bull. I'm not sure where he's from. This was one of those things where we were dealing with each other through DMs and emails and things like that. I never got to meet the majority of these MCs, but I think that they did a pretty decent job. So here we go. Here's the first track by Red Bull called You're the Best. Here we go. Track 2, right? Can you guys hear it? Let me know if y'all can hear it. Put it in one. No, put the other. I'm not hearing anything. That's weird. No, I got it now. Nope. Can y'all? There we go. Okay, I gotta lower it. Okay, we got it now. Here we go. Here we go. Distorting like heavy. I'm sorry, y'all. We're having a little bit of a technical difficulty. I thought this was gonna work, and it's like distorting heavy. I think y'all can hear it. Let's try this one.
Everybody wanna stop trapping now. Talk about gun blasting now. You can draw Michael Jackson crowd, they tripping. What happened to days of rap spitting? So sick with the delivery lyrics, hit you in the kidneys. I miss it, I miss it, I miss it. it. I'm here, I'm high, I'm here, I'm high, I'm here, I'm high, I'm here,
Okay, so that one is called "You're the Best." The name of that MC was Red Bull. I don't even remember where he was from. Yeah, exactly. I think he was from down south. And that's what he did on that. Here's the next joint. This one's called, this one's from the homie Quote One, and this one's called Letter Bomb. Here's another one that I produced called Letter Bomb by Quote One.
A bomber on the loose, a town in fear. A single threatening letter would start a huge manhunt.
Monster with malicious intent. You better start to up your roster when speaking events. You fictitious like imposters seeking respect. While the real will always prosper when I speak its events. Harder to earn, still with heat, harder to burn. Gonna body every track, man, it's not a concern. Ages beyond flagrantly harder than most. Ahead of the competition, cause I aim for the throat. Body unidentified, left to not recognized. Don't wanna end up like him, you best step aside. Let me do my thing, content and unbothered. Meditation mode, I can walk on top of water. I'm fluid, perfection, what I'm accustomed to. Retaliation, ravage, ransack, we running through. Breaking down barriers like testing core strength. Aiming in your area, this is where the bomb. Hey, where you dead and gone. This a mixture of rebel song. Delivery man explosive like a letter bomb. We taking on whatever you wanna bring. Better off sitting back and letting me do my thing. Yo, you dead and gone. This a mixture of rebel song. Delivery man explosive like a letter bomb. We taking on whatever you wanna bring. Cause your boy got balls like cells and sing sing.
So that's Letter Bomb by my homie Quote One. That came out really cool. Now remember, if you guys are interested, if it sounds shitty, excuse it. They don't sound that shitty. If I send you the download link, they sound normal. It's just something going on with the cable and the plug-in. It's probably a bad cable. If Stutter, if you could find the same cable, a different one, a newer one, I'd appreciate it. If not, it's all good. So we're gonna get into the next joint. The next joint is MFB Every Day. MFB Every Day. Check this one out.
What up, though? Welcome to Ox. Every day I wake up, horror on silence, gunshots, violence. Every night I stay up, can't shut my eyelids, gunshots, violence. I'm on my stoop in Cali, watching the world turn, getting high off this Maui, watching the world burn. The media is infecting us like flu, air germs, but everything you hear is from one side. When will the world learn? Most people die for a reason. I don't know what y'all people thinking or believing, to who it may concern. But when you're dealing with demons whose main concern is tweaking, it's no wonder innocent souls get put in pearl urns. Are my people evil? I don't even know. It's cerebral. Where I'm from, niggas pack guns, not cathedrals. I guess most lost hope. To me, it's a joke, cause usually they read your eulogy under a steeple. You feel me? People change, friends turn filthy. Everybody out for self, cause they trying to get paid. But really, my whole city kills me. Fatherless kids growing up with literally no help or cash aid. Every day I wake up, horror on silence, gunshots, violence. Every night I stay up, can't shut my eyelids, gunshots, violence. Every day I wake up, horror on silence, gunshots, violence. Every night I stay up, can't shut my eyelids, gunshots, violence.
Yes, that's Every Day by MFB. We're just trying to swap out the cables, so give us a second. Let's see if we can get this to sound a little better. I mean, it was distorting the shit out of my shit. Is it all the way in? All right, so we're gonna get to the next track, and I might play some of these over if you guys want. Yeah, I think MFB is from West Coast, but I'm not sure. Number 2, okay. So this next track actually features a pretty well-known female MC battle rapper. Her name is My Verse, and I was starting to do a little work with her way back in the day, and she ended up doing this song called The Future on one of my tracks, and this is it.
Qunique. Beyond the recognition, what you stand and live with, how you handle vengeance. Wake up in the face you're given. Same religion, different dialect. God's children, so a righteous cat. See me fly, believe it so. See my soul when I fell in love. Stethoscope, mental note is the better love. Carried home by the sender touch. Hush, hush, said the boss man. I crossed them, it cost me what I call dreams. Only figment of the image that we all scheme. Involve me being called weak. Learn my strengths and forms till it's made the source in the hands of a greater force. Let it take its course. Let them wage the war. Realize that your fate is yours. Say no more. My people know the dilly. Know I got your back. When times is the realest. Know I ride you that. The future is right before ya. Kick in the door. They can't ignore us. Employer to get the lawyer. Employers they get annoying. In ciphers, my pen is poison like venom ointment. You can't avoid them.
Yeah, so that was my verse on the future. It still sounds a little crappy. We can't get this right today, but what's up, Andrea? How you doing? There we go. Where we at? And I got one more. This one's called Firearm, and the name of the MC is Slim P. Firearm by Slim P. Produced by yours truly.
Ha, ha, ha. What it do? What it do? Your man Slim P coming through. Hey, yo, Q. Yo, Q. Yeah. The mic assassin, back with a passion, fully loaded blasting, automatic action, a firestorm, ashes left from the rapper, iron phone, what's happening? You conspire with the massman, the hit out, take the chart, no did out, rip out the guts of the beat when I flip out, whip out a bunch of loose leaves and I spit out a chump or two, lump a few, the wall, mass murderer, slash trap burglar, whack cat burner, mindset and that turn up, the ledge learner, I know genuine natural with flow, snatch your body if you move, make you lose your soul, mind control, with this mic console, MC squared, same energy when a firearm blow, I dare, any compared to the witty and red, degree of PIM, none get spared, yo, I grip the mic in my palm just like a firearm, fill your brain with 16 strong, lyrical flame, dang, let's get it on a crack shot, black out, my aim dead on, I grip the mic in my palm just like a firearm, fill your brain with 16 strong, lyrical flame, bang, let's get it on a crack shot, black out, my aim dead on, yeah.
That was dope. That's Firearm by Slim P. You know what's crazy? I haven't listened to these songs in a while, so even I'm like, okay, that came out pretty fucking cool. Thank you. So if you guys are interested, I could send you a download. No, actually, I could put a download link in the description, and what I'll do is, according to the community, I could put the download link on qunique.com, which will probably be easier for you to check out if you are interested in downloading it. If not, it's all good. Either way, I just wanted to share with you an album that I did. What's up, Eon? What's the deal? You good? Just wanted to share that with you. It was a project that I was working on that obviously didn't go further than that. But then I just reminded myself there was another artist on this, but I couldn't play his because the stuff that I produced for him, they're actually out on streaming services. So his name is Dirty, Durte. And the two songs that I produced for him are Fucking Up and Damn Thing. And I'm sure you guys will enjoy it if you get a chance to check that out as well. Edwin, you crazy. Thank you, Mir Depp. Thank you, CC. Thank you, Dion Smash. Aeon, excuse me. Thank you, Gorilla. So I'll have the link at qunique.com. I think that'll be the easiest way. And then you guys will get to check it out and vibe to it, whatever have you. You could download it. It's a free download. And we'll see how the future unfolds for myself in producing. It's a weird thing. It's like there was a crossroad during the Arsonists times where one of the guys that was like in the higher level, the hierarchy of Fat Beats, he had suggested that I just become a full-on producer. And at the time, I just wasn't really ready to hear it. And there are times when I think, like, I wonder what would have happened if I would have just went that route. I would have never spit ever again, or maybe occasionally, but it's one of those things. I just didn't follow that that road. And, you know, at that time in the 90s, there was so many MCs to choose from. I probably could have produced 1 million, but who knows? It didn't happen. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. But I chose the other pill and just went lyrical and rocked out and all of that other stuff. So that's the deal with that. K-Thames, what's up, son? Thank you, all of you. Thank you for loving the tracks. I really do appreciate it, man. Seriously, thank you. I wasn't, you know, when you're about to play something that most people don't know about it, you know, you get a little self-conscious, but thank you. I appreciate y'all. Okay, so first things first, no booth today, okay, because we're working on the set design and there's a big mess and I had to unplug a lot of stuff. So apologies in advance, but we're gonna end on this note here. What's up? We're gonna end on a new reveal, Yo MTV rap cards. We're gonna go have some fun with this. So let's see. Thank you, Gorilla. I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate that. So we're gonna open it. Here we go. Ah, he opened it. And the first card is from my man Gorilla's. We got MC Hammer. Gaining momentum. There you go. Too legit to quit. MC Hammer from Oakland, son. Gonna hold that for Gorilla. And then the next card right there, we got LL Cool J is hard as the GOAT. One of the craziest careers I've ever seen in all of music. LL Cool J from out of Farmers Boulevard, Queens. Next up, one down. Next up, we got Public Enemy, of course, from out of Long Island, Strong Island. Public Enemy. I was fortunate enough to go on tour with the great Public Enemy. Ooh, this is one of my favorites right here from out of Brooklyn. Brooklyn OGs. Stetsasonic. I don't really pull too many Stetsasonic cards, man. We got Stetsasonic. Go Stetsa. Great rap crew. Oh, my man Gorilla got another one for you, but not of the same suit. We got Vanilla Ice right here, baby. Go Ninja, go Ninja, go. Who else we got? Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate that. Yes. Thank you, Andre. I appreciate that. Here's another one, Belle Biv DeVoe. That girl is poison. I thought it was me. That's the other joke. Oh, shit. Thought I was going to get mad. I moved the whole camera. Belle Biv DeVoe. I never really thought of them as a rap group, though. I know that they had elements of rap, but I didn't see them that way. Oh, I never really pulled this card. I know I have this card. It's the Young Black Teenagers. Tap the bottle, twist the cap. Of course, the God, Eric B. and Rakim right there. The 18th letter, no one does it better. Oh, some of the best hosts on the planet, Dr. Dre and Ed Lover. I used to love the way they hosted Yo MTV Raps. And, of course, the last card of the deck. This is a good one. Third base, because I'm a product of the environment. There it is. Black and white. Dope duo right there. Third base, baby. Yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this was a lot of fun today. Thank y'all for your patience with the set. We will be returning to the new set. I don't know if it's going to be this Friday. I'll let you know. But there will be a new set definitely next week. And but please, I'll see you on Friday Vibes with Q. And thank you again for your support. And also have a beautiful evening. Thank you guys for, just hanging out. Thank you, Gorilla, for the subject. Thank you, Eon, no doubt. Thank you. Thank you, Serge. I will do my best to put together a playlist of a lot of the songs that I showed off today. Plus, I will have a free download link at qunique.com if y'all want to get those tracks that I played a few minutes ago. And that is it. You guys have a beautiful evening. Much love to y'all. God bless. And I'll see y'all Friday. Peace.